Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Today it's more towards younger students. Why do we have to learn how to play in half position? So a lot of students struggle with learning notes in half position because they stay in first position and third position for so long. A lot of string method books will teach the D major scale first. So then when students see that fourth line F on the staff, they assume that it's going to be sharp. So why do we have to learn half position? This video is to hopefully explain that to you. Half position, if you're not familiar with it, is actually lower in pitch on the bass towards the headstock from first position. The reason that we play in half position is because you have access to different notes. That's the most basic understanding of it. Why can't you just shift to each note in half position? That's a great question. You technically could shift to every note, but there are certain keys that are way easier to play just staying in half position. For instance, F major. So when we learn the notes, we typically start with first position, right? So if we just follow along our fourth finger notes in first position, on the G string I have B, I have the F sharp on the D string, I have C sharp on the A string, and I have G sharp on the E string. Okay? In the key of F major though, we have all natural notes and we only have B flat. So that means B, our fourth finger note on the G string, is not in the key. F sharp on the D string is not in the key. C sharp on the A string is also not in the key, and G sharp on the E string is also not in the key. So since we can't use our fourth finger ever in the key of F, why would we play in first position? Because that would mean we'd have to shift to every note backwards, right? So instead, we just situate our whole hand in half position, because now our fourth finger is on B flat, which is in the key, F, which is in the key, C, which is in the key, and G. All of these notes are in the key. And in addition, now we can reach in our first finger the low F and the B flat, which are in the key. The big challenge that a lot of students have is that now E, the note on D string, they're used to playing with the first finger, but we have to now play it with second. And they think that this is an inconvenience at first, but really it makes it so that you don't have to shift for a very long time in a lot of pieces that are in F major. A great example of something to study is the second etude from the Simondl 30 Etudes book. The very beginning of it is just an F major scale, and it makes total sense for us to stay in half position. Okay, so you notice that entire time I didn't shift at all, because the whole first two lines, and actually even further into the etude, we can stay in half position. So hopefully this helps you understand why half position is important. It helps for pieces that are in F major and certain other keys. B flat major is the same way. All of those notes can be played in half position. And again, the fourth finger notes in first position are not in that key, right? So the basic philosophy of learning different positions on the instrument is that naturally you'll have different notes in those positions. And when you're in different keys, you have different notes. So you have to know those different positions. So this is why I try to teach with a positional understanding. You have to know every note on the fingerboard as you start to become more of an advanced bass player, because you don't want to have to shift for every single note, because every time you shift, you might go to the wrong spot, right? You might play the left hand out of tune. So if you can cut down on the number of shifts, then that seems like a good thing, right? But that means that we have to learn new positions. All right, so if this video was helpful, please like, subscribe, and thanks for your support. Hope to see you in the next one.